Hello
3, 2, 1, 1.
and welcome
Oh my
to Sweep and Chat.
I'm playing chess right now.
That's cap. You're capping right now. We're not doing the show right now.
It's too late. It's already begun.
This
Go
is
to
the
bed, Nick.
podcast
No. We should
You're actually
stream.
capping.
We should stream Zankov's midterm.
where we
Sweep
sweep
and
the minds and talk the times.
Let's go.
You know what? This isn't the right board for this.
Yeah.
Today
Yes, let's go. Let's
we
go.
have a special game of
What the fuck is
Minesweeper.
that? What the fucking dick is that?
This isn't Minesweeper.
What is the spookiest shit you've ever experienced in a video game?
Yo, wait. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Wait, no. We have to do the introductions for everyone part of the sweep and chat.
Oh yeah, sorry.
This guy's
Hello
+3
and
on
welcome
me.
to Sweep and Chat. This is the
Did you already
podcast where we
start?
sweep the
Did you already
minds
introduce
and
this
talk
shit?
the times.
Just let him speak.
I'm the host, Zach. I have with me Dan, Nirav,
True.
Zankov, Ryan,
And
and Balako. Okay.
I'm going to bed. Shut up. I'm
You're
gone.
going to bed? You're gone?
No, I've had enough.
That's cap.
Oh, okay, we
No.
lost him. This shit scared the shit out of me when I played San Andreas years back. Still can't help but get the hairs stand up on my arm when I think back to this car.
Damn,
Nigga,
Shorty.
it's a
Okay.
car. Are you kidding me?
It
You
kinda looks
already
like
said. You already said it, Nirav.
So what?
Look, it's not my problem if he says it.
Yes, it is.
I'm posting this on YouTube.
It's all of our problem.
And just look,
You know it is.
are you telling me I need to bleep it?
Yeah, you said yourself. Trace it back.
Are you telling me I actually have to do editing for these videos?
That's cap.
No!
disavow.
Don't-
Cut it
don't
out. Now you
support
have to
this.
edit.
Don't post this video.
I don't
What do you-
support this.
What are you talking
Don't
about?
post it.
I
It's
promise.
so-
I promise. I won't say the N word again.
I don't support the usage
I'm
of
so
that word.
sorry.
Look, if it gets
Zach, don't post this.
Is this
dead
is this
run.
gonna be a
Dead
lost
run.
episode?
No. This.
This is
Should
a
we just-
lost episode.
Dan
should we
Beffen.
start over? Should we start over?
No,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
no,
Dan
no.
Beffen.
It's okay. It's okay.
You just beep it out.
Okay,
I'll do
True.
some minimal editing.
True.
okay,
Alright.
what can I make the title of my midterm essay?
What subject is it?
You should.
Philosophy of race.
No,
The question is,
Zach,
how
it should
is
be a
political
top 10
action-
scary moments in video games.
How is political action / revolutionary action important to philosophy of race? and
Number
school?
10,
What
Smile
are
Dog.
your recommendations on / about overcoming alienation in our world?
Alienation? Alienation?
Alienation, that's what
The
I'm
nation of
Hold on.
aliens?
God.
Alien 5G device.
The Alien 5G device?
Alien device.
Look,
Yo, I
No
saw an
way.
alien 5G device.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
to.
where?
No,
In Princeton?
I think Sweep and Chat only works if I'm playing a game. I'm gonna need to play Minesweeper.
Are you restarting?
I'm
Are you
playing
restarting?
chess,
No.
bro. I'm
Oh.
playing chess right now.
What do you mean?
That should look like the battle
Sweeper.
pass. That should look like
Do we have a topic? Are we?
What?
Or just
No.
anarchy.
Heck are you
So
talking
this will be the most cuckoo ass, stupid ass.
This is
Video.
the
That shows stupid ass dumb
Anarchy server in Minecraft.
Mhm.
Custom Zankov, give me a height, a board height.
5.
27.
Give me a board width.
47.
47.
And how many mines?
100.
5.
500.
500?
Hey, Nirav.
Thank
hey,
God.
Nirav.
No.
We'll go with
Get her out.
200.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Alright, we're back into
You gotta get all the corners.
to sweep.
You gotta get all the one corners.
Can you put this in dark mode? Like, I don't know.
I'm too lazy to put it in dark mode.
Oh.
That's cap.
I'm too lazy to put it in dark mode.
Stop the cat.
It'll look better on video in dark mode.
Oh, what's the topic? What should we talk about?
What? We don't have a topic.
I don't know.
I
Just
can't
complain.
see. I can't
just
see
There
right now.
isn't
Complain
a
about
dark
shit.
mode.
Complaining about shit's easy, Nirav.
I don't know how to put it
Okay,
in dark mode. I
phone.
might be. I'm inept, so
Oh, you're retarded.
yeah. We don't use
Oh,
that
me
kind
too.
of language here.
Me too.
Hey,
Shut up,
buddy.
bro.
We don't use that. Hey, hey,
Let's,
retard.
let's talk about the new Chun-Li Fortnite skin.
She's so fucking hot, bro.
It's too much. They gotta nerf that shit. It's
She
too
got
much.
it all. She
It's
got
too
the
much.
thick thighs. She got the fucking bitch ass eyes. She got it all.
Yo,
Jerry, if I miss class tomorrow,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I-
Go to
last
bed,
time-
bro.
this
The last time I went to math and
kid.
physics was
Yo,
last Monday.
You sound exactly like Michael Jackson.
Oh, ready?
It's so bad.
I've seen a video where it goes.
She said I'm the one, but the kid is
Second, I
not
think I've seen
my
that video.
son.
I think I've seen that video.
I think.
The
Yo, drop. CS GO.
You're capping, but I'll hop on.
I'm actually not capping. I'm actually gonna hop on.
Yo, leaker, get on this.
I'm actually 37, bro. I'm actually 37.
1738.
imagine playing CS.
I'm like, hey, what's up, fella?
Imagine, Jerry, when's
No,
your first
no, yeah.
class tomorrow?
The amount of bleeping gonna happen.
11?
Oh, like 11:50.
Yo, right
Yo.
after this chess game. Right after this chess
For
game.
for sweep and chat, this is your CS:GO debut, Cherry.
No,
For sweep and chat.
way.
no way,
Please.
Do it.
no way, no way.
Do
Am I
it.
playing? Am I playing CS on Sweep and Chat? Are you kidding me?
CS:GO.
Look, Nirav, I don't have any rank. I have to play.
All bitches give me rank.
She Pyeongchang, Jejeongchang.
This is
That shit.
see what's funny is that with the first couple Sweep and Chats, I tried to moderate the content somewhat,
Impossible.
Alright, some bitches on your dick.
but
Yo,
I'm
true.
I've given up. It's too much. It's too much effort.
You wanna know what's too much?
This
What?
is
These
how we become
bitches
famous.
on my dick, bro.
This is dude, this is our Vanoss gaming. Think about it.
Who the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm about to checkmate this dude.
That shit look like a bandage.
Shut up!
And That
God.
shit look like a bandage.
This isn't the
And
best
that
time
shit
to
look
do
like the battle
midterm.
pass.
No, I don't think it is the best time to do a midterm. You're probably gonna have to do it tomorrow.
I
That
can
shit
help
look
you.
like a mid.
I can help you, bro. Ask
I
me
don't know.
question one.
Checkmate him,
Okay, question one. How is
bro.
political
Checkmate
action
him,
slash
bro.
Who was Prissy the Elder? He died in
important
Pompeii.
Philosophy of race
Did
discourse.
you just
And
call
if
him
you
Pussy
close
the
your
Elder?
eye-
Prissy the Elder.
It's plenty.
That's what I said. Caleb.
Bro, I'm actually so crazy right now. I'm so crazy, bro. I'm so crazy, bro.
I'm so crazy. I'm so cracking crazy.
I'm so quirky.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
swear to God,
happy.
once this chess game's over, I'm about to go crazy. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
lazy. I'm like Richard.
Bro, you getting cooked right now. It's quite up.
Cooked? You're actually gay, bro.
They call you.
I'm literally picking the dick out of my nose right now.
Yo,
What's that
Thank
mean?
you.
Picking the dick out of your nose right now.
What
That
dick
fucking
is in your
sucks.
nose?
here's the thing about it. If you don't think about it, you
Yo,
won't
this
get it.
guy's smoking on Tuka. Straight up.
I wish that was me. Yo, that's cap. Unless.
I'm a check this shit
The
out.
kid.
That shit
I'm on
look
my
like the
song.
battle pass. That shit look like the battle pass.
Yo,
I'm actually fucked up right now, dude. This is
I
not
told
cool.
you.
Really?
Bro, shut the fuck up. I'm
Don't
about to go
say it.
insane on your
You
ass,
can't
dude.
say it.
I was actually about to go insane on
Don't say
your
it.
ass.
Don't think it.
Good.
Don't say
The
it. Don't think it.
kid is
Look at this
not my
combination of
son.
moves. The kid is
Yo, it's like-
my son.
It's like Among Us. If you think about it.
This is like Among Us.
Yo, have you ever made a
That shit
sweeping
look
chat
like Among Us.
like during the Among Us?
No, I've
The
made
Among Us
no.
arc.
I think there are 4 episodes of Sweep and Chat,
Yeah.
Yo, so this is the Among Us arc.
and I think the last time I made a Sweep and Chat was like a year ago.
Bro, are you
Maybe
kidding me?
like a year and a half ago, because I definitely haven't made one since quarantine.
Alright, see us.
Quarantine.
I can't.
I'm
Yeah.
going to bed.
That's cap.
I made
Once
it
I
to
once I
Dick
finish this
Good
game of
night. I'm done.
Minesweeper, I'm ending it.
I can't do this. I'm sorry. You have to carry.
So this is either we
Signing
win
off.
or I die because I'm taking a sip every time I die.
Oh, you're
So-
taking a sip of what? What have you
My
got?
BAC is literally gonna be 5.
I'm just gonna have
Drinking-
to work early tomorrow and finish this.
Is it Frank Castle?
So I'm going to go to bed as well.
I just had
Oh.
so much cereal.
So now that the call has died,
Well, so now it's the real one.
Now that the call has died.
now the real Sweep and Chat can begin.
Dude, we should
Yo,
do
Some
podcasts.
people don't understand that people don't understand.
No, it's true.
You know what? Bars.
Yo, what you sipping on, Jerry? Hey man, get you something to sip on, man.
That movie was so good.
It's
Like, I
such a
can't
good
even-
movie. It's such a good movie.
My-
For any Sweep and Chat viewers, we're talking about
I think I'm going bald.
fistful of dollars.
Hey, have you guys noticed
Yeah.
my hair thinning?
Get on that shit.
No, dead ass, Jerry.
No, I haven't noticed your hair thinning.
Thank God, bro.
Are you like Saruth?
Yo,
No, because my parents
that's
have been
fucked up.
flaming my ass and be like, yo,
Oh, that
hair
shit.
all over the place, nigga.
Oh!
Lord.
Look, I might have to not post this.
No,
No,
you
please.
got it. It's only 2. It's only 2, dude.
you can do it. You can do it. It's only 3.
It's so
I
much
said-
bleeping. That's so
I said
much
You,
more
one.
you don't
editing.
even know what I said. You don't even know what I said.
The kid is the mother.
It's so much more editing than has ever been. This will be
No,
the
I got you with that. I got you with that. I'm actually a master
Like,
baiter.
you have to stream us streaming CS:GO.
this
Yeah,
will
actually,
be
no, they used to call me Masturbator 4. Did you know that?
this will be the most well edited Sweep and Chat
Yo,
that
let's
there's
talk
been.
about people who masturbate.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
Dude, it's
bro.
gonna be like talking in history editing.
yeah.
Where they
Yo,
literally take like
This
5
CSGO
months
episode.
to edit.
People who masturbate with their penises.
Dude, I wanna.
I'll make that the episode title.
People who masturbate with their
Cat.
penises.
You know what?
What?
True.
That's what. Yeah, man, that looks like it belongs in the battle pass.
That looks like the battle pass from Fortnite.
All right, so let's talk about something real. Real
Yo,
shit,
Among
bro.
Us should have a battle pass. Think about it.
How would that work? It's
So
not a
true.
it's not a seasonal game.
You get hats. You
Dude.
get hats every time you win a imposter game, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro. I'm gonna show you
bogus.
this CS:GO, and you're gonna watch this, and you're gonna be like, oh.
Dude, all
yeah,
your
oh.
tweet- All the million people watching Sweep and Chat will be like, wow, this Knaz guy is so good. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
I'm a
gonna be
silver
like- they
elite.
gonna
This
be
is the
like-
first
I'm
time.
good.
This is the first time
They
you've
gonna
been
be
on
like,
a
I
sweep,
ain't never
sweep and
seen
chat,
this
right?
dude.
That's what I'm
Me?
saying. The first time I've been on it, I didn't say a word. I just
I think I was on it before. Maybe
No,
a
no,
little
Dan, you've
bit.
definitely been on sweep and chats before.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you've
baby.
flamed my ass in the
See,
past for
I-
being bad at Minesweeper.
I watched the Sweep
I'm
and Chat
so
before.
sorry. I
We're-
didn't mean to
we're-
flame you,
we're-
dude.
we're
I'm
for like-
so sorry.
20 minutes- I watched the Sweep and Chat from the past where for 20 minutes Ron complained about how we got like a 60-hour work week at Starbucks. I was like,
Oh, I'm dumb.
he's capping. This shit's cap. No way.
There's like an analog sequence.
It's over. Look, I just failed the game of Minesweeper.
Yo,
Nah, you
happy
good, you
International
It
Women's
might
Day.
look. This might have to be a quick
I
15-minute
fucking
episode.
love women.
No,
Oh, dude, come on,
please.
Bro. Come on, bro.
Dude,
You
just
got this,
stream
you got
stream
this.
us playing CSGO.
Yeah, well, you're not streaming,
I'm streaming.
are you?
Yeah.
Dan is.
Oh my God, you are.
But the
Okay.
kid is not my son.
Alright, so CS:GO in chat.
You're right.
I don't know what the bleep 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 is going on.
Yeah, I'll watch.
We'll
We'll
I don't
watch
know what the
you play.
bleepity bleep is going on now. That guy, like, think about it. That guy doesn't even know what he's doing on Earth.
Thumb lip. Dude, he's like a NASA engineer, bro.
Look,
Thumb
that
lip.
guy's 100% an atheist. Bro, imagine being a fucking atheist, bro.
No, he's literally base. He's Zach if Zach was short.
That's fucked up.
That's.
But the kid.
Don't say
is-
that to me. That's horrible.
Yo, don't say that to him.
Listen, Zach. All I'm saying,
But the kid is
you had a decision to make freshman year. That's all I'm gonna say.
What was the decision
What was
that he
my
made?
decision?
If you know, you know.
What?
I don't know.
You had to be there.
I'm
What?
about to say.
I'm
You're
trying to
gay.
think about freshman year.
I'm actually a
We were
bug.
in the same LA class
At study hall.
and study hall. But what do you
Think what? Uh-huh. This shit.
I'm losing it.
Bleeding.
I'm losing it.
Caleb Tony. When he.
What about him?
But why is your shit so loud? Hold up.
Gengar
Wait a
Florian?
Let's talk about Caleb Tony for a quick second.
No.
Caleb Tony, Caleb Tony, Caleb Tony, Caleb Tony, Caleb
You know what's
Tony, Caleb
unfortunate is
Tony.
Manny deleted all of the assistant Krebly videos.
Yo, this guy kind of tryhard.
What are the assistant Krebly videos?
The
That shit
It
look
was-
like a
it
belong
was-
in the assistant Krebly.
it was
video.
all of the videos of Manny doing speedruns. And it
Oh,
would,
and you would be in the Discord.
and yeah, we would all be in the Discord talking, but he deleted all of them because he didn't feel like going through them to see if there was anything incriminating. So he just deleted all of them.
What would be incriminating?
Somebody saying the N-word.
Got you.
What
Did your blood pressure rise?
What
You
I'm
your
gonna have
blood
to-
pressure reader on
What?
you?
No, my blood pressure didn't rise,
Your
but
blood
it's
pressure.
it means that I have to edit. Ugh. I don't even have an editing software. I don't know how I'm gonna edit.
I'm gonna.
Among Us editing.
That should look like it need to be edited.
I wonder if like the in-house YouTube editor I can just add a really loud bleep noise.
YouTube editor.
Yeah,
Well,
you should
doesn't
add,
YouTube
somebody
Studio
saying
have an
Among
editor
Us.
of some kind? I mean, I guess we'll find out when I try to edit this video.
That should look like Among Us.
For all of the look, I'm convinced that I think there's one person who watches Sweep and Chat who isn't from the friend group.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Hello.
That's Alex Chan.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's one person. Exactly one person.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's Cap Among Us.
I can't even feel my fingers. I don't know how I'm playing this game.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you,
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
but I love it. Yo, no one gonna
Ooh.
be. I bet.
Okay, baby. I need me a fucking shawty. Yo, I need me a girl who loves God. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I know that's what you thinking right now, baby.
That's hard to come by.
That's bars, but
Yo,
No
B.
pun intended.
you know what else is hard to come by?
What?
I got his ass, bro.
Kill Tony.
It's B.
There's only one of them. There's a dude mid.
Dude, you. Is that what you had to say to your teammates? Dan,
But
tell
the
me right now, are
kid
you
is
trying
not
in a
much.
silver game?
Bro,
Bro,
he's a
I
silver.
can't even try to go upstairs.
This guy's trying.
Yo!
Whoa,
Defuse.
Yo, I'm gonna hit this beat.
No time.
No time.
Yo, sus. But the kid is not
You like
mine.
when you deal with skin? Digel?
Dijon mustard?
So let's talk about bugs for a second here.
Yeah.
They sound all like.
But the kid.
No, some of them
is-
don't.
Really?
Some
Okay,
of them got
bug
more of that,
expert.
Okay.
you know?
Yo, run that back. Run that shit back.
And then
They're
some
two
of them,
palace.
some of them hit him with it. It's more of a bird. Yo, Nirav, start dropping some bars here.
Alright, got them down
Hey,
pass.
hey. Okay.
This is gonna be. This is the lost episode of Sweep and Chat.
But the kid is not. Bro, what are you doing? Get on peace.
I'm gonna title this like episode 83 of Sweep and Chat, and just pretend that there have been a ton of them.
Dude, it's like SCP.
Oh my god! Dan, that was insane.
Bro, you're actually like good at this game.
Dan
Just
is,
defuse, bro.
Dan is
I got your
molding.
back.
Dan, oh my god!
Let's go.
You're crazy.
I'm literally. I told you. I don't even.
Yo, how many. Bro.
Okay.
That was insane.
You're actually.
Alright.
You're
I'm
actually a
about
hacker.
to finish this apple juice off. Apple juice. Apple juice.
This is a good Naruto profile picture.
Apple juice?
You want to see his one tap?
No.
Once
That
he
shit
just-
looked like the battle pass.
Game called Among Us.
Fortnite?
Watching Palace.
I think I might have accidentally. I haven't tested the audio for this. The audio
One
might be
pass.
really bad. I think I'm too quiet, or I might be too loud
That's messed up.
compared to the two of you. I just turned myself up a little bit, maybe,
Turn it up.
because I'm looking at the
Turn
audio
it
on
up.
OBS, and it's a little spooky. It's a little
Alright.
kooky.
So let's get into something serious here.
Yeah.
So, you know, man,
You're really struggling here.
You know what?
you make me think of something, and it's gonna be not.
I can't
Awesome.
put my fist around with you. I'll be honest.
Look, the only stipulation for Sweep and Chat is that you
Caleb's
don't
gonna see this, and he's gonna get mad at me.
is that you don't say a certain word.
Certain?
Yes, us.
Oh my god, look at all those dead bodies.
What's going on here?
Flashbacks killed me, bro.
He passed. Woo! Yo, you saw that shit. You saw that shit. He came out the mud.
It's George Floyd, dude.
Palace.
No.
It's not possible. What, Dan,
No problem, bro.
Dan, do you honestly think that Caleb's gonna watch the entirety of Sweep and Chat?
No. I'm joking, bro. I love all y'all niggas.
Awesome.
Yo. True.
Wait, what if I just say that you're black?
I am black, bro. Bro, get a little my voice. Y'all ain't heard them that black.
That fixes the problem.
I'm so black that.
What if I
I'm
just don't
white.
edit this? It's fine, right?
You don't even know who I am.
Well,
To be
nobody knows.
honest with
Nobody
you-
knows who we are.
To be honest
It's
with
not like there's
you-
any personal information disclosed in Sweep
Hey,
and Chat.
yo,
Although,
that's
actually,
personal.
there's probably enough that you could definitely find out who we are if you were
But who the hell gonna watch this shit, bro?
if you were retarded.
Hey, yo.
He doesn't have a kit.
You ain't got time.
He got it. He got it. Yo, he had it.
Shawty bad.
Bro, why are we losing this game? I'm
Well,
popping
because
off.
you guys don't have kits.
I got 100% headshot.
I'm
accuracy.
only gonna buy a kit from now.
Dan, I can't help
I
but
got a
notice
new
you
mouse.
didn't buy a Zeus.
Okay.
Look at my arms. Do.
What?
First of all,
Nickelodeon.
true. Yeah, this dude said AZ. Like, who is it?
Who's got
You
pinky
know what?
is,
Nick,
man?
Nick,
So when
Nickelodeon.
Caleb said we
Let's
should all
ramp.
get drunk together, I
Yeah.
think I agreed with him.
Did
But
you?
I
Kinda
just wanted to
lagging
make
right
fun
now.
with him because he's Caleb Tony.
We should not get drunk together. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
What are we doing right now?
Well, I'm not drunk.
That's true. I always get a little gay. I
Look,
always get a little gay when I'm drunk.
I don't-
I'm not gonna lie to you. I always get a little. gay when
Caleb
I'm
gets
drunk.
really gay when he's drunk. Are you kidding me?
Does he really
Dude, I
get
did-
really gay?
I had a dream that I was gay the other day.
Look,
That just scared me.
look.
How long was that?
look. I just be chilling at the friend group hangouts, and then Caleb takes off his pants.
No, I don't be taking off my pants. I just be touching people. I mean, if you're okay with that, that's
No,
cool,
Caleb
but-
takes off his. Don't you recall? Caleb takes off his pants every
I
time.
recall, but I just be touching people. I
Don't
don't really
you
care about
open
what
up
killed.
the window?
I'll be all like hugging you and shit. I mean, if you okay with that.
Hug Bavo?
Yo, honestly, true.
No,
I like my skin though.
I don't plan on getting drunk at one of the friend group gatherings. That's not a good idea.
You
Well,
know
not,
what?
like, I don't consider my.
respect
I
that.
can like see. I can like aim. If I was like drunk, I'll be all like, nah. I'll be all like, yo, what's good?
The
Yeah, I'm drunk to the point where I got my instincts all straight.
I see.
Look at these flicks. Could a drunk guy do this?
You know
I
what?
don't think so.
True.
Yeah, it just
Yo, we
doesn't.
got.
Because every time I've been to one of the parties that we've done where people have gotten drunk, which is like twice.
Well, I don't usually get drunk at those, cause I don't like people. I'll be honest, I fucking hate people.
You're the
That's
same.
fucked up. If you ask me.
Yo, Dan, you're about to kill these dudes.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
You're about to take them down. Take them down to Pound Town. Wow.
Oh, nice smoke. They smoked a bite away.
Check these hops.
There's one pass, I think.
You missed it. Yo, is one of your
Oh.
teammates like 6 years old?
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't you like to know?
3, 2, 1.
Bro, we're getting cooked right now.
You guys need to step up your game.
I think they did, bro.
Talk to him.
I'm gonna be straight up with you.
How does this dude has an op?
Okay.
He's 0 and 4 and he bought an op.
He has the magic money. It's like when
Yo, they
Ron.
went B orange. Man.
He tried to flat. Yo, man. Why do we get these teammates every game? Like, I don't understand it. Like, they're retard. This is worse than Among Us.
Yo, this look like the battle pass.
Yo. True.
My pupils dilated right now.
Yo, your pupils mad dilated. Rip.
I made it to a phone.
Okay, phone.
Well, I'll tell you right now, my brain is so fast. I'm the fastest. Like, my reaction time? Say something?
No.
Boo.
You know what? True.
You might be retarded. It's possible.
He got point though.
Yeah, but I'm like an autistic savant. I'm like the battle pass. This
You know
guy is
what?
on my shit. My shit.
Yeah.
Caleb
3,
on his.
2, 1.
Yo, I'm getting
Nirav, what do you
fucked up on
hear?
A. I think they're ramp.
I'm watching Palace. Palacio, Interla, Palacio.
Yep, I hear movement and
That guy
palace.
just pulled up on me.
Movement.
Straight up. There's one in he dipped. His ass dipped. There's
Oh.
one con. He is going like there. Okay, Marco, 21.
I don't understand.
M4Co, 21.
What's
Yeah,
9 plus 10?
Bro, my man's clearing apartments.
Apartment. He doesn't have armor.
Bro, imagine living in apartments.
We
How-
gonna do that.
How good is armor in CS:GO?
Pretty good. Oh, he took that off.
He said,
He said, let it bark, my guy. Let it bark. He's like, oh, oh, oh.
This is possibly gonna be the best content on YouTube.
This is
No, not
Isn't-
possibly. Literally.
dude. We're gonna be like a CS:GO compilation video. I'll be so pissed. I'll actually.
Top 10 cringiest moments in CS:GO.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Sknaz.
Number 1.
Number 2. Letting it bark. Never should somebody take off their silencer while mid-fight.
First of all, true.
Second of all, true.
Third of all? Third of all? Third of all? Could we get any threes? Any threes?
3 for 3,
Threes?
for 3.
Any
Going
threes?
for 3, going for 3, going for 3.
Oh,
Sknaz,
hey!
Sknaz with the shot.
Oh, I missed.
Sknaz with the shot.
Yo, Among Us.
You actually messed him up, dude.
Oh
He's
my
mid,
god,
bro. What is
You
the guy
actually
looking
dumb
at?
idiot.
What is Marco
Turn around.
looking at? Hit the
You know
flick.
what?
Alright, you know
Marco,
what?
you're trash.
Cheers, buddy.
Okay, he's scoped in. He's scoped in with the AUG. He's reloading. He's reloading.
Nice reload,
Okay.
bro.
He's taking position. He's taking position. He's gonna shoot him. He's gonna shoot him when they come out of snipers or connector. He's taking position. He's ready. He's ready.
Good try.
Good try. Good try.
You know, so a little thing about bugs.
Yeah. What is a
mean-
bug?
So, there, obviously there are a lot of people in this world, but are they
Yeah.
really sentient beings? I'm not quite
First
sure.
of all,
I consider myself sentient because I can recognize my own existence and I'm self-aware.
4chan.
But what is the What is the bottom threshold of self-awareness?
What? What?
Bro,
Well,
you
isn't
know
it?
RA.
I think therefore I am.
Not.
That's,
I mean, not quite because
some.
can AI think?
No.
And where is AI?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Could be.
well, because you know, AI as it exists right now only does what it's programmed to do. But like, if you have an
AI will only ever do what it's programmed to do.
that's true. I mean, that's true. Even if you have a singularity, that's what it'll do. So I guess where's the
is
the
AI
threshold?
ever going to be truly sentient, or is it
Seriously,
only going to be as sentient as the Chinese kid in my class who's good as math?
Let's
good
talk
at
about
math?
Roko's Basilisk. That's the most
'Cause-
cap shit I've heard in my life.
Bro,
What?
what the
What?
dickhole are you?
You're gonna
digging
have to
up?
Roko's-
explain that.
Roko's Basilisk.
What?
Dan, you explain it. I
Oh,
can't do it.
Roku's basilisk.
What the
Yeah,
heck is
that's literally
So it's basically a thought experiment,
it's
right?
Cap 101.
Okay.
It is. If let's say there's a singularity,
Yeah.
really advanced AI comes out, right?
Yeah.
And it is
Yo, when I die, I'll
basically
explain it to
God.
you.
It's
Mhm.
basically God,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And then, so if you helped in its creation,
Yeah.
you are sent to heaven. And if you denied it or did not, or were like against it in any way, shape, or form, you are damned to hell, essentially.
Well-
Whatever hell is, right?
Okay.
And this AI is so powerful that it has the power to see and read all past human thoughts and experiences.
Uh-huh.
So right now your thoughts are affecting whether you go to heaven or hell, whether you like it or not.
Well,
So it's pretty much, it's in the future, if humans create an AI to optimize itself,
mhm.
obviously the AI, in order to optimize, will want to prioritize the humans that helped in the creation of it,
Yeah.
right? Because they want to optimize, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying it's an AI that's so advanced that it could create a simulation that can accurately predict like how we're gonna act or our actions towards the AI, whether we
Mhm.
support it or don't support it, right?
Mm-hmm. Dan, your
So
stream is frozen.
the point of it is that
Oh, Dan's internet might have
Hold up.
crashed.
yeah, I don't care about this game no more. Someone team kill me. I want to explain Roko's Basilisk.
Okay.
Anyways, I was saying,
Uh-huh.
what was I saying?
Roku's basilisk, the AI will help.
Okay,
whoever
yeah,
made
yeah.
it.
So it has an incentive to prioritize the humans who helped him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, because of that threat, it will torture or torture your descendants based on if you didn't do it, just so you have an incentive to help it come into existence,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fuck the nigga up.
Though, there's another thing I have to bleep.
True.
So true. Uh,
It's like if you look at Pascal also has a similar thing where
mhm,
it had to do with God, right? Where it would be like you have if in the case where God exists and you chose to believe in him, you go to heaven. If he
mhm,
don't exist and you believe in him, nothing will happen. If he doesn't exist and you don't believe in him, nothing will happen. And if he does exist,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if he does exist,
Dan's internet crashed.
well, yeah. If he
Yeah,
does exist
I get what you mean.
and you don't believe in him, you'll die. So it statistically makes sense that you're gonna believe in him.
Yeah,
Similarly, in Roka's Basilisk, it makes statistic sense that you will help the AI come into creation, right?
mhm,
So that's the part that's apparently like really scary or terrifying to people who have like existential who are scared of that shit, right?
mhm.
So they're scared of that.
Hey,
I
hey.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Additionally, this is what I think is actually really interesting about Roka's
Hello, hello.
Basilisk.
Can you hear me?
Hi Dan,
Have you
we
heard of
can hear you.
yeah, I can hear you. Heard of Newcomb's experiment?
No.
Okay, so it's pretty much where let's say I have two boxes, and
Mhm,
in one box there's $1,000. In
mhm,
another box there could be $1,000,000. And
mhm,
I tell you, you have the option. So box A has 1,000, and box B has 1,000,000, and
mhm,
you have two options: box A and B, like you choose both of them, or just box A.
mhm.
So obviously, statistics-wise, you're gonna choose both A and B,
Yeah.
because best case scenario, you get $1,000,000 and $1,000,000.
Mhm,
Worst case, you get $1,000. So
mhm.
obviously, you'll choose that.
Yeah.
So what makes it interesting? Let's say there's a person who claims to be like a master predictor, and he says, if you choose just box B, I just a box for $1,000,000, you get $1,000,000, million bucks. But if you choose both, you only get 1,000, and box B doesn't have any money.
Mhm.
So what are you gonna do, Zach?
What? I'm still gonna pick both boxes.
But
I
you,
don't I don't care if some master predictor tells me what. It doesn't change what's in the box.
Master
well,
predictor, more
but
like
what if he
master
says,
baiter.
what if the predictor has been 100% correct each time?
Well, then
What are you gonna do?
I'd just
Are
suppose
you
that
gonna
I'd just suppose that there's never been $1,000,000 in the box. He can't look. He can't change what's in the second box, right? He can't change what's in box B.
But you don't know that. You don't know what's in box B at the time. He tells you if you
Well,
choose box A.
surely the so what? So would I trust his word?
Hmm.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, yeah. Well, the point of the experiment is saying that a person's prediction of what you're gonna do is gonna predict or it's gonna affect
How you
your
do it?
future decision. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I mean, it
in
certainly
terms of
makes me
Roko,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
In terms of Roko's basilisk, it's the instead of the prediction being where you choose box A or box B, it's Roko's basilisk predicting whether you choose to help the
Be
AI
pro
or
AI or anti
yeah,
AI.
yeah, yeah.
I see.
So the people who are actually scared of this AI, or who actually believe in it, are gonna be like, well, I'm gonna help it come into existence because worst case scenario, nothing happens. Best case scenario, I don't get put in a torture. And the thing is, thinking about it like that makes Broca's Basilisk more likely to happen.
Well, so here's the thing: is that the AI gains something from using the threat, but it doesn't actually gain anything from carrying out the threat. So therefore, why would it?
Well, no, because the the theory is that the AI is so advanced and it knows that the threat the threat of the AI doing that torture will make its existence more
Right, right,
probable.
right. But you know,
So obviously
there's
it's gonna want to do that.
right, but there's no reason for it to actually carry out the torture.
Well, there is a reason because the threat of the torture makes its existence in the
Right,
future
right,
more
right. But
likely.
I can't know. So let's suppose we're in the future, right? The AI exists.
Mhm.
It can't affect the past. So why would
Well,
it
now
actually?
we get into the problem of timelines.
Why would it?
There's
Well, no,
something in
no.
the future
So,
that
so
happens affect
why
the
would it?
past.
Why would it? Why
Yeah,
would
yeah.
it actually? Why would it actually carry out the threat?
So
Because let's say it tortures me in the future, right?
Mhm.
It's not like that torture in the future is going to go back in time and affect my past opinions. But
No, but the thing is, the thought.
no, exactly. The fear of it, the fear of the torture is what's affecting me now. The potential fear of the torture. But once we actually get to the future,
Got kill a guy with a flashbang. That
there's
was
no
sick. Oh
reason
my
for
god.
the AI to actually carry out the torture because it doesn't actually affect anything. Like it's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Well,
like it's like because the AI already exists in the future. So let's say it's like this, right? It's like it's like ransom money. You're holding a gun to my head, right? And you're saying, unless you give me $1 million, I'll shoot you, right? And I say I'll never give you $1 million, and then a different person gives the guy $1 million. He has no reason to shoot me anymore. He already has the $1 million. Like he was using the threat of the gun to get the $1 million from me, but now, I mean, I already refused, and now there's no reason for him to actually go out with it other than just sadistic pleasure, because it already exists. Like once the AI already exists, it doesn't matter. There's no reason for it to
well, I
carry
think
out its threat.
the point of the threat is to make the AI in the future more likely to happen.
Right.
There's no point of the AI. So that's what I find really interesting, where the AI's prediction of how you're gonna fare, like affects how some people are gonna act in the future.
Right.
That's what I find interesting.
Right, right,
I
right.
don't
That's what
believe in it.
that's
I obviously don't believe in any of it. That's
right.
fucking bullshit. But
Right. Well, that's what I
that's what's most
no,
interesting about it
it's
for
very
me.
interesting how it would make people change their opinions.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. There's no point if the AI exists. There's no point in it torturing people as it exists. But
Right. Right.
it knows. Since it's so advanced, it knows that the threat of it torturing people is gonna force people to advocate for its existence earlier.
right.
So it gets created earlier.
Right. Exactly.
Which is part of his mission statement
That's the
of
idea.
optimizing humanity.
That's the idea. Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those thought experiments where it's like, it's, in my opinion, it's not really worth thinking.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's essentially a theological argument. I mean, it's basically an atheist. Look, the singularity is basically an atheistic god.
So we're never gonna get a thing. That's
Like,
it's never gonna
like
happen.
the
Bro,
way
my internet is struggling.
the way I see it, I see the singularity as kind of an atheist way of practicing theology, because basically all of the moral questions asked about AI are the same moral questions that you can ask about God. Like,
Yeah.
they're all the same question. It's just, oh, these are new questions we've never had to think about before. But then you can go read like Thomas Aquinas from 700 years ago or whenever he lived, and find the same
So yeah, apparently
questions.
people who are like who are actually like afraid of this exist shit, like that their expert like fucks them up for life. But
Mm-hmm.
That's cap,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
There's no way someone is stupid. There's no way someone is smart
Bro.
enough to be able to understand it, but stupid enough to the point where it controls them.
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
retarded.
that's true.
I'm not.
The real interesting for me, because I was like, well, I don't think we're gonna achieve singularity in my life. How's it gonna affect me? Like, as weird as it sounds, I don't really care about my great grandchildren's life. You know,
I
like
mean,
that's just
I care about
I
them,
care,
but
but I'm
also
not like.
that I'm confident in the
But then,
knowledge that it literally
but
wouldn't
then,
matter.
yeah.
So
But
so
then
what is the
this all
singularity? The
changed. This all changed.
singularity.
This all changed when Microsoft introduced that fucking patent to bring back dead people as chatbots. And then I started thinking,
Mhm.
if we have this technology now, in
Mhm.
the future, what just stops us from
Resurrecting people.
yeah, just not even like human beings like existing, it like, just like as AI, like
Well, so
what stops what
the
stops
question
AI
is,
from feeling pain?
can we don't know what consciousness is, so can you even
Yeah.
resurrect that?
Right. Well, that's
Because you can model somebody's thought patterns
Right.
theoretically, right, and put that in a chatbot. But can you really resurrect them?
well, right. Well, that's
Well,
that's
it
an
reminds
age-old
me.
question: is whether you're a materialist or a spiritualist,
We
and
literally cannot know that until
Sean,
we're.
It, have you heard the Japanese chatbot that ended up getting depression, or it's not a chatbot, it's an AI that ended up getting depression
yeah, I heard about
after a
that.
bit. So I was sort of wondering, is that real depression? Like does that chatbot feel it?
No,
And
surely
if
not.
so,
Well, the thing is,
So the chatbot models itself after something. It's
yeah.
modeling
the thing
itself
is,
after some fuck ass
at
dude.
what point do you stop calling it a chatbot? That's because humans copy each other. I mean, that's how you grow up.
Yeah.
Is when you're a baby, you copy everything that your parents do, and then eventually you become a functioning individual, right? So,
Yeah.
if at what point do you say that AI is just what it is? Like you say that AI has a soul, quote unquote, but we don't know. The problem is that we don't know what a soul is. We don't know what creates consciousness, so you can't. It's unknowable.
Oh, yeah. Going back to Roka's battle, I was thinking like I'm not trying to understand why are people scared of this thing,
Mhm.
because you know people are actually scared of it. You, as dumb as it sounds. So I'm thinking maybe they're afraid that the AI is able to simulate their own life, and
Mhm.
they're scared that once they die, they can come back, or their consciousness will be replicated in the AI, where they could be tortured
Mhm.
by the basilisk. Maybe that's something they're scared of, but
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
that's that's
What?
so insane to think about. But
you're
at the
kind
same
of
time,
you're kind of assuming at that point. You're kind of assuming an AI like Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. You're
yeah,
Fuck is that?
you're assuming you're assuming an AI that has malintent. You're basically assuming that the AI will become an evil god. Like,
well, but let's go back to what I was saying before. The AI has a reason to act as an evil god
mhm.
because its fear will allow it to
Right,
be created
right,
sooner, or
but
more people will.
the fear of it makes it created sooner, but again, it actually doesn't have a reason to carry out the
Well, okay.
torture.
Why does it want to be created?
Right, again, well, that's the other
Well,
thing.
To simply exist?
yeah,
Everything in existence
the
is,
whole
if you think
the
about it,
whole
everything in
theory.
existence is experiencing some sort of pain.
Yeah, the
If you think
whole
about it like a
the
fucking
whole theory of
retard.
Roka's Basilisk is that the Basilisk was created, or the AI was created, with the intent to optimize humanity.
Mhm.
So, it's in its mission statement, it wants to be created as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So, in acting as an evil god, it
No, but
fulfills the
it
mission statement
okay.
because
It doesn't exist before it's created. So does it want to be created as soon as possible, or do we want to create it? And if we want to create it, we are
well,
uploading our
that's when
our
yeah,
collective
that's when
consciousness to
that's
it.
when all the theory crafting comes in, where it's like the AI is so advanced that it can affect people before it is created, and I
See,
don't believe in that. I just
that
think
is
it's interesting.
nonsense
Yeah,
because
Right.
that is stuff we don't
yeah,
You're
yeah,
we
practically
can't possibly
yeah,
conceive as
yeah,
humans that kind of shit.
you're practically
yeah.
saying, what if we invent God?
Exactly.
you
And
know?
you have to be a fucking faggot to be able to believe
You
that.
know,
True.
it's like yeah, sure, as a thought experiment, it's fine. But you're basically supposing that humanity creates God and
Yeah,
then
same fucking retards that think we are accidentally created. What a fucking loser.
Because human genetics came from an asteroid. Where
Yeah,
alien
right,
goes.
What, you don't like panspermia? You're not a fan?
What is panspermia?
No, I'm not a fan.
Panspermia is the theory that that humanity and all life on Earth was seeded by an asteroid from another
See,
planet.
I don't like that's all cool. You can think that, but then the question, like, I don't really care about humanity. I care about all of existence,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm not like strictly religious to the point where I believe in flat Earth, because there are people like that. But like,
Right.
I believe I obviously believe there are aliens
No,
out there.
just
But, like-
studying biology, you're gonna understand that panacea is nonsense, because humanity's evolution is in line with all other mammal and all other life evolution to
Look,
this date.
My most controversial opinion is that evolution is bogus. I don't
It is. No, it literally is.
I don't
What?
I don't believe in
No,
macroevolution.
okay. Evolution exists, but not how we're told, like how fucking we evolved from fish.
I don't think
That shit is
I don't
ridiculous.
I think microevolution exists. You know, the stuff where after many generations the two types of bird have different types of beak. You know?
What's macroevolution? I don't
Okay,
even
no,
know
but macroevolution depends on one, billions of years of the same family organism line being alive with tons of mutations and natural selection.
Right. Well, and
Like
that's
that doesn't. That's
that's
just
the thing.
so
Is
Is that
such a
It's not
small
billions of years.
probability.
It's not billions of years. It's like
So
tens
why
of thousands of years.
us
It's much
as
less.
humans, we have been around for thousands of years. Why haven't we?
right. Well, here's
evolved to
here's
be
my
past
here's my
humans?
problem. Here's my problem with evolution is that invariably every time there's a mutation within an animal, it's always a bad thing. Like there's we haven't ever observed.
No, you can't classify mutation as bad or good. There's so many mutations.
Like
because
99%
no,
of the
listen.
time it causes instant death.
Yeah, it does. But you can't view it like that. You have to view it as it's a because remember, before living things, before eukarya and bacteria, or I messed that up, but before life as you knew it, any life like oxygen as an element destroyed all life just because of its chemical properties. But then we as life grew and mutated where oxygen wasn't so effective to us that it because billions of years ago there was like an oxygen holocaust where oxygen was such a problem where it would destroy any organic relationship. But eventually through mutations we're able to be like survive oxygen existing in the environment and eventually use that
So
for
why
energy.
wasn't the very first organic life destroyed? If it's
Well,
only a singular
It
thing.
was.
Then what the fuck happened after that?
Well, it was billions of
What,
years
something
of.
else just came up
Here's my problem.
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
nowhere
it was.
randomly?
Here's my problem
yeah,
with
pretty much.
I have
That's how mutation works. It was literally mutations for billions of
No,
years
what
until
mutated into it? Can a non-organic life form mutate into an organic life form?
I have two problems. I have two problems with
First of all, there are many biological environments that survived and still survive to this day without oxygen.
Yeah, look. I have two
And
problems.
eventually, there's a mutation
I have two
that allowed it
problems with
to
evolution.
survive oxygen.
I have two problems with evolution. First is the first organism to be formed, where the chances of the necessary chemicals forming in the way that they did, or would have had to, is so astronomically small that it shouldn't have happened even in billions of years. Like you have to suppose that certain chemicals formed certain strands of amino acids, which then formed certain proteins, which then formed proto-RNA, which then formed a single cell. You have to suppose that all of that happened within a short enough time span that it created a living organism, and also that that organism survived long enough to reproduce.
Also think about this. Think about this. So if we all evolved from single cell bacteria or whatever, what was the evolution? What was the mutation for consciousness? Because we don't think as of germs as like conscious beings. We just think of them as like sort of automated cells that kind of do their own thing. Same with all viruses and anything that's not like an animal, right? But what is that? You can't
I mean,
quantify that as a mutation.
Right,
That's
yeah,
just something
right
completely
now,
different.
there's no quantifiable definition for consciousness in biology right now.
Yeah, and there never
But
will be because as humans we aren't capable of
Right. Well,
literally understanding
it's
that.
trying to define the it's trying to define the universe from within itself. It's impossible.
Exactly.
But the thing is, my other problem is a much more nuanced problem, and that's that at a certain point during the Cambrian era, there was an explosion of evolution, right? I mean, there's in a very, very short amount of time, the number of species, distinct species on Earth, increased exponentially by like a ridiculous amount. And when a lot of scientists look at it, have looked at it, I'll send you a video about this later. When some scientists looked at it, they said that it's too fast for evolution. It's too fast. The Cambrian explosion is too fast for evolution. The numbers just don't add up. And that's my problem with evolution, is that it's such an astronomically unlikely scenario that we live in right now as to be unacceptable. I mean,
Yeah.
the chance is too
I mean,
small.
Zach, I believe it because if you think about it,
Mhm.
in our galaxy or in any of the star systems that we've looked at, we haven't seen another evidence of life
Mhm.
at all,
Mhm.
right? So I believe something extremely low, like a really low chance of something happening like that to happen.
Well, see, you say that. I counter with I think it's statistically impossible for that to happen on its own, and that's where I fit in God. That's where I fit in religion, is that I think evolution happened, but I think it was guided by the hand of God.
So yeah, I had a conversation with freaking Caleb and James of all people about this,
Mhm.
but it's really interesting. I was saying the more I learn about the human body, the more I started thinking the human body is really similar to how humans created computers. And when I was thinking about it, the discovery of certain hormones and certain body functions were happening simultaneously to how we were creating computers at the same time. And I was thinking, the human body and a computer isn't that different. So that made me think that if we as humans are creating computers like this, then it's not unlikely that a godlike figure created humans with the same mentality.
Well, so
Now,
so
But
so
that's
think
exactly what
about
genetics are.
think about this, is that in the Bible, right? It says that God created man in his own image, right?
mhm.
And that man is like God in every way, right? So, if you suppose that God wanted to create humans in a certain way, and humans are made in the image of God, but
Mhm.
are lesser, right? Humans are lesser than God. They're a smudged reflection, right? Well, what are computers but then a smudged reflection of us? And if we're copies of God,
That's what I'm saying.
right? If we're copies of God and God wanted to make copies of himself, then we would want to make copies of ourselves, right? So, but because God didn't make other gods, we didn't make other humans, right?
Yeah.
That's the nah, and so that's why my problem with evolution isn't a problem with evolution, because scientifically evolution all makes sense, right? It's not like there's a hole in the science. My problem is the statistics of it, and the way I solve that statistics problem is with God. The way atheists solve that problem is by saying, well, it happened.
True. See, as of right now, as a freshman studying biology in college, I believe in evolution.
I
But-
believe, don't get me
yeah.
wrong, I believe wholeheartedly in evolution, just not
No,
an
see,
atheist
I
version.
think evolution,
Yeah.
this entire theory of evolution, I think is filled with half truths
Listen,
and partial truths.
Caleb and
obviously,
James both said I was schizophrenic, but I still wholeheartedly believe that when we created computers, like it's not a coincidence. The way real life viruses and computers work, they're so similar.
No, you're
There's
not
no way
wrong.
it's a coincidence.
You're not wrong. Look, have you ever, I mean, when you look at DNA, what is DNA?
yeah, no, it's
DNA is
essentially just
basically
like a sequence. It's just a
Hormones,
sequence.
yeah, exactly. Hormones are literally just
functions.
they're just yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're
they're
methods.
just very complex
Yeah.
sequences of, I
Right.
guess, chemicals.
Right. Well, what is DNA but just a programming language?
Exactly.
Right? DNA is just a programming language with 4 letters. In very complex strings. No, you're not wrong.
Exactly.
Look, Nirav, you're
Actually,
not
it's 5
schizo.
letters.
You're not. Is it 5?
Yeah, there's one in RNA that's different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're so.
Sorry, my 7th grade biology
Yeah.
is
See, no, this is exactly what I was thinking, and this is exactly why I'm against the fucking COVID vaccine. You do not fuck with shit that made you.
Don't get me started with COVID.
You don't fuck with shit that made you,
Get
bro.
me started with COVID.
Jared, would you fuck with shit that made you?
No.
No, you fucking wouldn't.
Look, I feel like when we start trying to mess around with like gene editing of humans, that's when we've gone too
Look,
far.
humans are literal fucking retard monkeys. We found out little nuclear energy, and what do we do with it? We make a bomb that explodes.
That's the
Speaking
first
of
thing we did.
Speaking of
That's
which,
the,
speaking of which,
That's actually so fucking retarded, bro. Like, no, you can make a like infinite energy like spaceship or like military craft even, but no, you just fucking waste that
The
shit.
first-
Go blow up
the
some
first-
Japanese
the
people,
first-
right?
That's true. The
That is
first thing
so fucking.
the first thing we did with nuclear energy wasn't a power plant. It was a bomb.
And also, people think about if I believe in divine intervention, right?
Mhm.
This might sound retarded because I might not be able to completely describe what I'm thinking right now.
Mhm.
But what are the chances that the planet is still alive right now throughout the course of the Cold War? How many there were hundreds upon hundreds of close
Dude,
calls with
So
nuclear
many
launches.
close calls.
That is, in
here's-
my opinion, that is proof of divine intervention. We would have
here's-
been wiped out.
Here's food for thought, right? Here's something for you to think about. The scientists who dropped the first atomic bomb were like 5% sure that dropping it would end all life on Earth, and they still did it.
That's
are you kidding
Because
me?
there was a theory at the time, right? And it only got disproven by dropping the atomic bomb. But there was a theory at the time that dropping an atomic bomb would ignite the atmosphere and burn the entire Earth.
what about tests?
Tests? What do you?
I mean, you test it with smaller.
No, there wasn't.
Size
They
bombs,
couldn't.
right?
They couldn't test it. I mean, the first.
I mean, there were nuclear bomb tests.
Yeah, the first ever. That's what I'm talking about. When in the Trinity test, the first time they ever dropped a nuclear bomb in the middle of like the Nevada desert, there was a significant fear that it would light up the whole atmosphere. And when
I mean, there has to be a theoretical answer.
and when they saw, well, yeah, like they had come up with the theory that they were like, yeah, it won't light up the atmosphere, but they were only like 95% sure. And then when they dropped it and they saw the mushroom cloud, because you know how the mushroom cloud looks, it looks like the atmosphere is setting on fire,
yeah.
right? So when they looked at the mushroom cloud, they were like, oh shit, we set the Earth on fire. And then
Oops.
but then it dissipated and they were like, oh, thank God. But yeah, they weren't entirely sure that they wouldn't end all life on Earth by dropping that bomb.
And you know what they said? Do you know what they said after that? Let's drop your shit on Japan. It's about time.
No,
Let's drop two
this
of
is-
them.
The shit
It's
that
about
puzzles me
damn
is like
time.
the amount of complexity that goes into making things versus the stupidity that is done with it.
That's true.
You know,
if you
like,
if you didn't
okay,
know,
so let's think
football,
about
the invention of the Nerf football. You know what the military did when they got heard of that?
What?
They said, let's put a grenade in this bitch.
What?
It's
What are you
every
talking
new
about?
invention.
You've lost me.
No,
What
no,
are you
look up,
talking
look
about?
what
look up.
Nerf
Search up
football.
Nerf football military.
I will right now. Nerf football.
In 1973, the U.S. Army made an anti-tank grenade football by hollowing out a Nerf football and filling it with explosive charges. We're actually such fucking Joe Rogan. Like, I fucking hate Joe Rogan, but he's right. We're all a bunch of fucking apes, dude. Like, he's such a fucking bitch. Like, his fucking show is so like mind potato chips. You think you're discovering something
You think
insane, but you're really just thinking about the same shit over and over again. But he's
Yo,
right. He's actually right. We're just a bunch of fucking apes, dude.
That's how I feel about social psychology. This is a completely different topic, but psychology is a fucking pseudoscience. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't.
That shit
I
is a
don't- I
waste of
believe-
time.
I don't believe that scientists are actually doing much with their time. Like,
You think-
wait,
like-
where would we be? So Elon Musk has achieved in 5 years with SpaceX what NASA has achieved in like fucking 25 years.
So I think
And if like
Yeah, yo,
what is the
people-
theory that,
people
that
like
technology
Neil deGrasse
advances
Tyson is the
exponentially?
greatest.
yeah.
People like Neil deGrasse
That
Tyson
is straight
the
up
greatest
wrong,
scientist
like-
of our modern time. What has Neil deGrasse Tyson done?
Like Jerry, that theory is either wrong or we just have some
Yeah.
fuck ass shit
Well,
hidden.
well. So here's the thing. I think that the government just hasn't. I think the government sucks at doing science unless we're at war, right? That's
No.
that's my basic theory. Is that humanity kind of sucks at doing important science unless we're at war.
No, here's the thing. Maybe war is an excuse to expose the science that we already have.
Well,
because
because
I don't believe the government would just give people shit.
well,
'Cause, like, look at college. College, you're supposed to learn shit that like many people don't know, right?
mhm,
But you don't fucking. What do you even learn in college?
right.
Like,
You,
what the
you
fuck
can
am I
learn
learning?
the entirety of human history. Like every scientific discovery made just on the internet.
It's
Go to a
all
library, spend 4 hours.
yeah.
a day on the
Look,
computer.
look. It's all look. College is kind of bogus. I mean, if you here's my problem with modern college, right? Is that college is meant to take smart people and give them the resources they need to become really smart, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not about just college, right? With the internet, we have the resources to pretty much be able to learn like
Right.
anything.
Right.
And it obviously I don't know fucking
Right.
that much
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things, but like it doesn't seem like
'Cause
something
thing
is so
I
impossibly
read-
hard.
Mhm.
Sometimes I read like some like old school, like not old school, like some old book from the 1800s or
Mhm.
the 1800s, and they're like, I want to go to college so I can continue my research on the topic I'm interested in.
Right.
That's what people did back then.
Right. Right.
The reason they went to college,
the point
it's
was
for
to
research. It's
Right.
for themselves. It's not for their career. It's
Right.
for the scientific
well, so
interest.
the
That's
the
it.
original
There's
idea of
nothing
the
else.
university was just you get all of the smart people together in one room so that they can work together. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get the smart multiplier. And
Right. But now it's because we have to cater to all of the dumb people who want to go to college. Colleges are basically just high school part 2,
Yeah.
right? High school part 2 send you into crippling debt addition, right? Look, most of the stuff they teach at college could realistically be taught on the job. So like a bit like most people in college end up getting business degrees, right?
Which that's not even a fucking. Literally, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go into business.
Right.
That's what that is.
Right. So people get business degrees. What do you learn in a business degree that you couldn't learn by just working for a business?
Going on billionaire mindset on Instagram.
Like,
No, I'm like really interested in what the next 3 years of college are gonna be, cause I know first year I didn't learn shit.
uh-huh.
It was just
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple of numbers that I didn't put together yet in my head.
Mhm.
Literally,
I learned what a
The
resident
only
structure.
the only thing I've learned of substance is Latin, and that's only and like I could have done that on my own. College just provided me with an easy way to learn it.
no, like literally, all my classes just made me. Not even actually, only 3 of my classes just made me think a little bit more about the numbers that I and the theories I already knew.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's because I'm just in intro classes, and that's what
Dude,
intro classes are
6 years
supposed
ago,
to be.
people go to college for like one subject.
No, centuries
And
ago,
one
people
subject
were
that they
able
care
to
about.
make crazy ass shit like the pyramids.
That's true.
Like-
That is complex. People discount how much people knew back then.
Mhm.
Like,
I don't
people-
think we're
people go to
that
colleges-
far. I don't think we're that much far ahead than people back then. They
Yeah,
knew some
be-
shit, bro.
because,
We don't
dude,
make cool shit at
The
all
real
anymore.
passionate people, they're going to college for like 8 years studying one subject.
They
which
didn't have college, nigga.
No, they
They
did.
were.
They had
did.
they had university, but
That's
it
the
didn't
beauty of it.
it
There
didn't
was-
They would. Dude, people would go to university and study one subject because they're passionate about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that
we
would be the
can't- it's
only
not even,
reason
like-
they would go to college.
It's not studying like you're
Nowadays.
studying today.
Right,
It's
right.
something
yeah,
So
completely
so
different.
university back in the day is entirely different from university today.
Yeah.
There weren't classes, like there weren't courses, and there was no like gen ed or whatever, and there was no program of studies. It was, hey, I'm gonna buddy up with this professor and he's gonna teach me shit.
Yeah, it wasn't a teacher-student relationship, or it kind of was, but the main focus was I'm gonna go with this professor so I can continue my research.
It was
Not so
kind
he
of
can
like
teach me
it was
shit.
kind of like
Okay,
how
but
it's like
even today.
it's like how grad school is today, but that was all of college. Like all of college was grad school, where you just like partner up with a professor and learn stuff.
Dude, that sounds so nice. Like for all the shit I talk about biology, I would love to just go to college for like 8 years and just do like fucking bio experiments for
Dude,
the entire time.
I would love to go to college if it was just history courses. Like
Dude, that's
Exactly.
exactly why I want to go to trade school, but
If
I
I-
don't really want to go to trade
if
school.
if I could go to college and it was just history courses, like it was only stuff that I actually cared about, I would enjoy it so much.
I don't care about fucking Calc 2. That's
Never-
a clown class.
Never in why are there gen eds? Why are there gen eds?
So you
Exactly.
can eat your money.
Well,
bro.
you know why there are gen eds? Because the college needs to immerse you in some stuff, because like 80% of the people who go to college don't know what they want to major in when they show up. Which is stupid.
Why are there
Yeah. When I
fucking
went,
elective classes in engineering school?
Yeah.
when I went to a college tour in BU, one of the most tragic things I heard was the most popular major in that college was undecided. What a college that you're spending 80K a year to go to, and you have an undecided major.
Yeah, that's why I never bought the high school shit of, oh, you know, you gotta get your grades up, you gotta get a good SAT score. Like for what, bro? For
Dude,
what? You don't even know what you're doing, bro.
like, people after college spend like the rest of their career unlearning the shit they learn in college.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
People in college come out fucked up.
I wonder
It's
I
stupid.
wonder how much well, it's funny. I was reading my book, the book about the surgeon in the 1800s, the fiction novel, and he had a comment that I thought was really funny, where he was on a ship, right? And one of the surgeon's assistants was fresh out of college. And the line in the book was, he's fresh out of college and he's full of all these facts and figures, and I hope it doesn't take him too long to unlearn all of that garbage.
Exactly.
Just listen. The studies show. Oh.
The like I wonder how much of the real world, like if you're a doctor or whatever, if you're an engineer or a doctor, how much of that profession in the early years of it is just unlearning what you learned and like
Probably.
learning how the real world
It's the same thing.
works.
It's the same thing in college. They're like, yeah, this in high school you learn this, but in college this is how it works. Like, you're literally telling me my time in high school was wasted.
Dude,
No,
in
you
the
know,
real
you know
world,
what it feels
could you
like? It feels like
imagine
you
what's
were.
gonna
It
happen?
feels like they're saying, "Oh, all the people around you at the time were too stupid to realize this or to understand this." Like, shut your
Dude,
dumb ass
dude,
up and let me learn.
so far college is just high school part 2, and I'm a fourth of the way through college.
Well, you know what? Ever since fucking elementary school, they've been telling us, "Oh, you can't get away with this. It's gonna be much
That's
harder
true.
in the next
That's
level."
true. That's one of my favorite things is that ever since like kindergarten, it's always been you won't be able to get away with this next year, and I've always been able to get away with it next year.
Like, that's
Like-
why I feel really bad for people like Bobo and Anish who study all high school long, end up in the same college as me and Nirav, who literally slept through
Dude,
classes.
I feel like I can't even imagine what it's like to be Anish or Babo who spent. You know what? I think they just don't think about it, because if they thought about it, it would be really sad.
Dude,
That
I honestly feel so horrible.
I slacked my way through high school, and you two slacked your ways through high school, and all three of us got into
Yeah.
colleges of equal. I mean, you two are in the same college, and I'm in a college
I'm
of.
still slacking and doing as good as that.
And I'm
I went hard in Garcia's class. That's all I'm saying.
Garcia's class, and I'm in a college that's of equal, like, level. So it's not like we're not, and yet Balako like tore his hair out over every small test, every grade, and Anish spent a whole year perfecting his SAT grade.
And
All
Anish
for
drove himself to
what?
buganity, bro.
He got
Wait.
a
still-
1550 on the SAT, and where did it get him?
The
Hey,
same
so-
place as me. Literally, actually, worse, because the engineering school is higher profile than the arts and sciences school.
It's
Allegedly.
It's just so sad. It's so sad. I finished with a 3.2 GPA.
It's not sad. It's just like
don't even get started on my GPA.
What was your GPA?
After freshman year,
Dude, every year I told myself this is gonna be the year I drag up my
no,
GPA.
like you don't understand. After freshman year, I'm like, my GPA is done. It's in the toilet.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that freshman year I got a 3.2 GPA, and I was like, and then sophomore year I was like, this is the year that I bring back I get my GPA up to a 3.5, right? And then I got a 3.2 sophomore
Bro,
year.
you want to hear something fucked up?
What?
So you know, you both witnessed how much I sleep in class,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I had a 3.8 GPA weighted. That's actually so.
That's
fucked
horrible.
up.
I had a 3.4 weighted.
I heard about that.
And I had a 3.5 unweighted.
The
Or 3.3, I
what,
forget.
dude? I thought it was hilarious how I would occasionally fall asleep in class, and then I would wake up, like the teacher would, I would be woken up, and we would still be talking about the same thing that we were talking about when I fell asleep. Like,
No.
it would be like 25 minutes later.
Look, like I used to be a little bit of a bug, right? I used to not understand things,
Yeah.
but looking back on it, no way, bro. No way people are struggling that hard. No way. Like, I never studied for more than 2 hours in my life for like a test. I mean, that's actually cap. But like, I never studied like night and day for a test. How do you do that shit, bro? How do you how do you study
I
an
did it for,
entire day?
Dude.
Then for finals week. But that's the only time I did it.
Because
No.
I would like say I'm studying all day, but my studying all day is like studying for 30 minutes and fucking dicking off for like
No, the thing
fucking
is,
50 hours.
I like studying for certain classes.
Oh,
Like, I'll
I
be
love
honest.
studying for history. That's just what I
Like-
do in my spare time.
Dude,
But is
I'm
it like
so
is it like
just-
studying or is it just learning new things?
It's just
What even
learning new
is
things.
Studying?
Yeah, what's
So studying for math is like doing math problems over and over again, and all
I
I, do
don't-
is just think about the theory a little bit.
Dude,
during
I'm
the
not
test so I
going
can
to
get
edit
it.
this video. We're at an hour and 20
You
minutes.
still recording? Look, this is good content for the
Only
This
an
is-
super
hour?
chat boys.
This is
I'm actually tweaking.
This is fantastic content. This is
This is
probably
the content they don't want you to hear.
I'm so jealous of the people who gotta go to college like a decade, a century
Dude,
ago.
I'm so
If-
jealous.
I'm
I'm so
if my
jealous of the
entire-
people who got to live like 200 years ago.
No,
If
dude,
my entire
they,
college was just bio and chem, I'd be happy. Like I talk shit about chem every day, but if it was just bio and chem for me, I'd be content.
Dude, I would
Those
definitely
classes challenge
like
me
if I was
like
given
no other class.
if
that
I
I
w-
love.
if I was given the opportunity to be sent back to like the late 1700s, I would totally take it.
but I don't think you would. I don't know. I like my life as it is now because I can look back on things and realize what is what, right? And the question is, if you go back, will you retain what you know now, or would you just be then?
Dude,
Well,
I
but
don't
Dan,
really
Because like
care.
ignorance scares me so much, dude.
oh,
Like I don't want to be a bug that bad, bro.
Dan, you're right about because the truth of it, no one understands how good they have it until they don't have it.
Right.
Exactly.
People, but I'm still gonna be honest with you. If my entire college experience was just
Oh no, I'm not talking
science
about
classes.
that. Like I wish I was only studying fucking physics. Because
Yeah.
physics, you literally learn physics and you learn calc by itself. Like it
Because
doesn't fucking matter.
I don't want to do calculus. Like, you're down bad in XPOL right now. Like, you're not telling me that.
I'm
you get the
actually
op-
up good in XPOS, to be honest. I've been getting good ass grades for doing jack, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, but you know in the back of your head you're wasting your time in that class. Like you're not.
Oh, I'm wasting my time, but
Exact-
I'll be like GPA kind of busted.
But that's what I was saying. Back in the day, you could just do shit that you wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, I just
There was no XPOS. There was no
I
fucking
wish-
social psychology.
There probably was. And we're just overlooking it. There was probably some stuff.
I mean,
that
there was
just
probably
annoying.
dumb, annoying stuff, but I can't.
And no, like, okay, maybe for me it's not the same as you for history, but no, I know it's the same for us. If we go back even 20 years, it would not be nearly the same. It would be a completely different field for both of us.
That's true,
Like, it would be
Yeah, that would be
completely
true.
fucked up. I would not want to go back.
dude.
It
Well,
would
see,
be
that's
unrecognizable.
the thing is that everything I care about and want to do existed 200 years ago, and I would be totally fine with.
But the thing
with
is,
that.
for you is, would the records be as widespread and accessible?
Accessible enough.
Really?
People were still writing books about all sorts of shit back then. I mean, you could still get. Obviously, there's 200 years of history that have happened since 200 years ago, but
But it's some fuck ass shit.
back then.
it could be fake if the mud floods are real.
Back
Think about it.
back then there were still tons of sources. I mean, in terms of like ancient sources, we had just as much back then as we have now.
And
Yeah.
speaking of like biology and chemistry, I don't think back in the day they had us fucking memorize the names
No,
for
but they
fucking phosphate
like,
groups and shit like
think
that.
about all the cool
The-
experiments you can do now. You can't do a fucking eighth of that, like 20 years ago. Forget 100 years ago. You can't
That's
do
true.
shit. You
That's
look
true.
at a frog. and
Science,
that's an
the
experiment.
one that
No,
has
no,
improved
I'll be honest,
significantly.
That is, no. Those experiments back in the day we're much more interested in now.
That's true.
Now
No.
it's look at a microscope and then look at a screen and see what happens. Back in the day, people would be like electrocuting a frog and then
And
they'll
seeing
be
it
learning-
move,
Yeah, and be like, this is how the world works.
or like
Or
yeah,
they'll be like,
all those early
in the
experiments.
experiment,
The thing is, okay, so I fucking hate to say this because I don't know if it's true or not, but we're in a stage where no one trusts us enough to let us to fund our stupid ass experiments
Yeah, that's true.
to like do shit like that.
Well,
Like
see,
back then,
that's true.
you only hear about like one or two things because there were world-renowned scientists who did amazing work, who were just retarded enough to fucking want to do some bullshit.
well, here's
no, there were some scientists who had some retarded ass experiments that turned out to be fucking like
yeah,
world
well,
changing.
the thing is, they got it to be funded somehow.
Well, here's the thing, right? is
No,
that
no,
is that
no,
is that is that
Dan. I just want to encourage for the sleeping chat audience. There were a lot of scientists. For example, the person Mendel, before he became the father of evolution,
yeah.
he was just some pope. Like no one knew who he was.
No, Mendel was he was a priest, yeah.
Oh, he was a priest.
He was a
Yeah,
pea farmer, wasn't he? He grew
exactly.
peas.
He was a pea farmer. And from his experiments, he had no funding. He was literally in the mud, fucking farming.
Well, yeah, he
peas
was in his
for-
pea farm.
for a decade, and then he changed biology.
He was like, "Huh, I noticed
Yeah.
these peas have a certain tendency."
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
invented science.
Like I get all of that, but like when you say it like that, obviously it's gonna sound super fucking cool. But
Well,
there were
right,
probably
it
a
would've-
lot of other things that you don't hear
Right.
about.
There was definitely a lot of dumbass
yeah,
science,
obviously.
but there's still a lot of dumbass science. Here's the thing: is that the modern, here's the problem, Dan, is that you're gonna even if you think of an experiment that's worth doing, right? Like a really important experiment, there's a chance that the scientific community will just be like, no.
Dude, that's why my goal is to have my own workshop that is on par with the
Like-
best, so I can do my own
Because
experiments by myself. and just
there
make
are
money.
tons of experiments that just don't get published because they go against the current
Well,
consensus.
yeah, I know. That's why I fucking hate science. Like, I fucking love.
You
I
love
actually,
love
like,
science.
I really like the idea
I
of
love
science, the pure science,
No, I love
without
science.
all the
I was like,
adulteration.
I love
It's super
science.
cool.
I don't like the definition of science right now.
It's not the
Science-
definition of science.
Sci-
It's the
or whatever.
It's the
the
people. It's the
realization
community.
of modern
Yeah, yeah.
science.
It's the
Modern
scientific
science is so
community
fucked up.
It's just not science. It's just whoever's funding us, we're gonna.
Well,
we're
it's
gonna
practically-
follow their narrative.
It's practically
gonna-
religion.
Pretty much.
No,
yeah.
it's
worse than religion.
it's religion if it's if
Yeah,
it's what
it's
people.
I mean, it's practically because it's there's a current consensus, right, that was set by some guy 60 years ago, right? Like there's some scientist who had a theory 60 years ago, and then everything has to back up that theory, and if you discover something that doesn't back up that theory, then you won't get published.
See, I'm a putting in some on lore right now, but when people were trying to figure out the beginning of life there were two theories, and the earliest theory was the soup theory. I forgot the actual name, but it was this. It was a theory that a famous scientist came up with, but no one could prove it, right? Because you couldn't come up with an experiment with it. And one day, this professor was teaching this to his graduate class, and some random graduate class said, "Well, I can do it in my garage." And he went to his garage and he did it, and then his name is now he's like a legendary scientist now just because he said, "I'm just gonna do it right now." You can't do that shit no more. You can't just go in your garage and make an experiment like that no more.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Oh,
if you have the
but-
resources. I think to make the resources you would need and the technology you would need to make a scientific breakthrough nowadays, it's a lot. It's a lot upscaled, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, let's say you want to make an advancement in like fucking quantum theory or something. You would need like a fucking particle collider to do that shit.
yeah, that's true. You can't do stuff in your garage anymore.
You can
In your pea
you can
garden.
you can like think of all of the groundbreaking theory you want, but it's the same. You get the problem of not being funded, except it's magnified. Where
Yeah.
no one wants to listen to you because you're just some nut job.
You're some schizo. Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of fucking theories about like a lot of things that no one is gonna fucking even question because they're just retarded.
Listen, my human computer God theory, I'm convinced is real.
Look, Nirav, the human computer god theory is it's
It's
real.
interesting because I believe it, but I don't believe it's as simple as your theory.
Oh,
I think it's a lot-
there's
'cause
just
I
I think
think-
there's something to it. I
I obviously
don't
believe in God, right?
Mhm.
And I believe God is not really a god, but a force of divinity
I don't
that
think we'll
created
ever.
everything.
I I don't think we'll ever be like, this experiment proves God exists.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no, because as
Yeah.
humans, we literally cannot conceive God.
You can't prove
It's not-
prove God. It's
Whatever
impossible.
created us didn't code in us the ability to conceive what created us.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's impossible. It's you're trying to define something outside the universe from inside the universe. It's just not possible. I mean,
Well, in this case,
it's
using the term "the universe" is kind of confusing.
it's like
Because
it's like
the
it's like
universe could be yourself. Your consciousness is your universe.
Right.
You perceive everything through your consciousness, which
Right.
is your universe, and someone else's universe is completely different.
right. Well, so it's like if you're in a room of total darkness, right, and trying to describe light.
Yeah.
Right. It's just not doable. Understanding God is not possible. By definition, it can't be possible. And if it were possible, then God couldn't exist. Like, if you come up with a religion where you understand the God, it by definition can't be true.
Exactly.
Because God has to
That's
be
a
God has to be uncomprehendable. Or else
I'm
he
gonna say,
isn't
I'm
God.
gonna start
That's
saying some
Greek
weird ass
mythology
shit
in a
that
nutshell.
might make zero sense, right? So I'm not sure if this is said in the Bible, right? But I heard somewhere that it was said in the Bible that God said that within each of us is a piece of God.
Yes.
Maybe that could just be that's literal translation literal. Is that a literal like thing that's said?
Well, that's the problem is that
So, 'cause-
some translations take liberties and some don't.
Because when I thought of it, obviously, man was created in the face of God.
Right.
So it could just be an adulteration of that, but it could also just be literally said. And I haven't read the Bible enough to know if it was literal or not. I haven't read it at all, actually. So I can't really make a conclusion, but I just believe it.
I mean,
Just because I don't know, something in me believes it.
Zach, going back to
Believe
what you
that-
said, that's a fatal flaw of all those Greek, Roman mythologies before.
right.
All those mythologies. The thing is, it's great storytelling. It's terrible religion.
Dude, okay,
You
listen
can't
to me.
have-
Listen to me.
you
This
can't
is
have a
super
god-
important. I don't think we understand Greek mythology as it actually was. There's no way they were that smart and have such like
Terrible
base level
theology.
mythology. It doesn't make any sense to me. They were so fucking smart. They knew they knew
Right.
almost everything.
Right, and yet at the same time, for whatever reason, the Jews in the desert had a much more complex religion than the Greeks, right?
It's really we're definitely not we're being lied to. That's not even a question. But what we're being lied to about, I don't think we'll ever know.
Well, here's the thing: is that we know that the Greeks did copious amounts of drugs. Like they tripped acid all the time. So that might have something to do with it. If you ever look into this, is something that not a lot of people know about, but was very, very important back in the day. It's called the Eleusinian Mysteries. There was this place called Eleusia in Greece. I think it's Eleusia. There was this place called Eleusia where there was a temple, right? And all of these high-minded Greeks, like every single Greek person from the ancient world you can think of, went to this place and participated in it, where they would all sit in a circle and drink spiked drinks that were spiked with like LSD, and they would just trip balls.
So I read you know who Graham Hancock is, right?
Yeah.
I read his book about all the Greek people who were, I guess, tripping and all that.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting, but it didn't make me want to change any of my theory about what I already knew. It was just, or what I already thought. It was just kind of like
Yeah.
a little bit of a reinforcement, a little bit of something that can be considered, but it didn't change a whole lot. It didn't make me think like the psychedelics is the gateway to whatever. That's a little bit silly. It in the back of my mind, there are
Look,
I can't put this into words right now.
I want
but
to, I want to
that's
try
what I'm trying to say.
psychedelics. I want to try psychedelics because there's so many people that swear by them as like opening your eyes into a new universe that I can't just disregard that, you know?
So, here's the thing that I thought about a lot, right? Humans are like a vessel through which God wants to see the world,
Mm-hmm.
and there are layers to it, and we can only see the layers beneath us.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, a fucking plant allows us to see levels that ourselves wouldn't be able to see.
Right, a layer above.
That's the thing that doesn't make theoretical sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a little bit weird, but the things that people say make me really want to look into it. I don't really want to try it necessarily.
Going
'Cause
back,
Mm-hmm.
if it's real, right? So just basic chemistry and biology. If drugs are able to open up a dimension within your soul, your own body is able to do that because it has the receptors to be able to experience whatever you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to do that yourself. You don't need any drug.
Yeah. You were gonna say, Nirav?
I was gonna say, going back to Greek religion, it's not like I don't think it's complex, but I think it's complex in the incorrect way where I don't think it's an effective religion.
Mhm.
Where I think the characters or the gods in Greek religion are extremely complex, each and every one of them, but each and every one of them is pretty much, it's really similar to man.
Right,
man.
it's just a person. It's just a
The thing-
person.
At the end of the day, you cannot idealize, you can't expect man to idealize man.
Well, what I find very
that's why
interesting, what I
I
find,
feel like, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
what I find interesting is that whenever the ancient Greeks would argue about religion and whether religion existed, they would never argue for their specific religion. Like whenever Aristotle made an argument in favor of God, it was never in favor of like Zeus. It was just in favor of the concept of God. Which I
Yeah.
find really interesting. Like, he never said, like, here are all the reasons why God has to be Zeus. Like, it was always just...
That's why I don't think we fully understand the Greek or Roman religions, because it was definitely a lot
Right, how can...
different than what we know it
How
as
could so
today.
many people believe in something that just seems so bogus?
Maybe I don't know, dude.
I mean, maybe they just didn't think about it.
Maybe it's like lost in translation. They
I mean,
definitely thought about
we
it.
know-
There's no way they didn't think about it.
We know that Cicero, the famous orator and politician, Cicero was an atheist. And he thought religion was all stupid. And a bunch of the other Romans were atheists, and there were atheist Greeks. Atheism isn't a new idea. I mean, it's been around forever. And there were atheist Greeks and there were atheist Romans. So, but here's the problem: is that a lot of their criticisms of religion, a lot of the writings about religion, have been lost. So we don't know everything. Because so much has been lost. The more you study ancient history, the more you realize we know nothing about ancient history.
Exactly.
Well, see, the reason I might disagree with Dan, let's look at Egypt. Egypt, at the time, had one of the most complex engineering and scientific breakthroughs of its time. Yet its religion was, if you analyze the religion, it's garbage religion.
I mean,
Okay, how
yeah.
can you analyze
Clown
something's
religion.
religion without understanding its language? We have
Yeah, we
like a 1% understanding of hieroglyphics. You can't come to a conclusion about its religion without understanding the language it's written in. It's just unfair. It's just unfair to say.
That's
I
true.
mean-
We understand some hieroglyphics, but definitely not all of it.
Like also, like unless you're there, people who are there have a obviously like don't really have much of a say because I'm only going off of what other people say and what I've seen. But people who have been there and have that have like dug deep into things have a lot different things to say than what is written in like textbooks.
Yeah. Well, and
So that's why I'm a little bit schizo
Look,
about these kind of things.
ancient history is still very much an active field. I think a lot of people have this perception that ancient history is like set, like we already know everything. But ancient, like, it changes pretty often. And there are still a ton of active debates about ancient history. I mean, take something like the Bronze Age collapse, right? Where the Bronze Age civilization all ended at the same time. That, like, almost all of the theories about the Bronze Age collapse emerged within our lifetimes. like, and that all happened in 1200 BC. Like, there's still theories actively being debated and discovered about ancient history all the time.
And as much as I would like everyone to be able to know the full truth and come to their own, to come to a collective and full conclusion, it'll never happen.
Right.
So, like, society as a whole will never be able to fully understand, our history as humans.
Right. Well, that's why it's the job
it-
of historians
yeah.
to try to make
I
it.
mean, people aren't even able to contextualize American history properly.
That's true.
Exactly.
And American
Exactly.
history,
Like,
American
come on,
history
guys.
is so
That
well
shit-
documented.
And it is
That
really
shit
sad
is literally a fucking
because
Google search away, and you still gonna call George Washington a fucking terrible person because he owned slaves. Go
well,
ahead.
at the moment it's like the job the job of educating the masses is delegated to the loudest voice who has the most money, which is really sad.
The way
It really is sad.
the way I see it, the job of historians is twofold. To keep track of what happened in the past, right? So, to go through ancient sources, to go through the evidence, right? And figure out what happened. And then to translate it into a way that it's comprehensible to the people.
Well, see, here's the disappointing thing. Let's take ancient Egypt as an example, because I've looked into I've listened to a lot of stuff about this just because I was very interested in it. Because it's really weird.
Yeah.
And different from today.
Yeah.
A lot of historians, like, disagree heavily with the archaeologists. And, archaeology is archaeology. You can't really dispute archaeology.
Right.
Unless it's like some test that's proven wrong.
Right.
But a lot of the historians disagree with the time scaling that archaeologists give.
Right.
And that that's kind of fucked up.
Wait, just to
because-
clarify, is it the archaeologists, their discoveries,
So the
disagree with
archaeologists,
the historians'
archaeologists,
predictions?
when they just look at things like the Sphinx, right? They decide that because of things like the erosion around the Sphinx, and things like just the stones it was built with, how it was built, mainly the erosion around it, they come to the conclusion that it had to have been built thousands, hundreds of thousands possibly, or tens of thousands of years before historians say it was built.
Right.
Because of we have like the common historical timeline, which is like ancient Sumeria was the first civilization for
Right.
humans that created like cities and all that.
Right. Well, I
Could
mean,
be true.
so the thing is with historians, right? Is that historians, and it's something that I think a lot of other fields don't deal with as much, but historians are a very, very set in stone type of group, where like once a theory is pretty much widely accepted, it takes a lot of evidence and usually decades of time to change the prevailing historical narrative. Like even if it's objectively wrong, historians do not want to change what they've already been teaching, so they don't.
Yeah, I mean, even like thinking about it as like from an education standpoint, It's just hard to just rewrite everything.
Right. It's like once like you've come up with, well, here's the thing. You have all of these historians who have spent their entire lives writing books, devoting their entire lives to subjects, right? Like Egyptology. And then you have this archaeologist who comes in and says, "Well, I looked at the rock formation and actually everything in your book is wrong." Like, forgive them if they're not going to accept it. But like I mean, you're because yeah, of course it's very interesting, the archaeology, and it's definitely something that needs to be looked into more deeply. But the prevailing historians are going to stick to their narrative until very large amounts of evidence are presented.
Until it's proven beyond
Yeah.
beyond a reasonable
Yeah,
doubt.
beyond, because right now, I mean, because, there are a million and one reasons why there might be that much erosion on the Sphinx,
Exactly.
right?
It's
Like-
difficult.
Like, there could be more reasons than it's just thousands of years older, because that's the thing, is that the theory that the Sphinx is that old flies in the face of all of the historical evidence that we know of. Like, it's,
It flies in the face of fucking evolution of mankind.
like, it flies in the face of everything. So,
Like, if you say the Sphinx is 500,000 years old, every single history book in existence.
everything is wrong. Everything
Yeah.
is wrong. So, it's gotta be a little bit. I mean, that's like.
No, but do we even have records of the Sphinx being built?
No.
Exactly.
The
So why does
oldest,
it destroy
the
everything?
oldest record we have of the Sphinx is it being renovated and repaired,
Yeah, exactly.
and that was sometime in like 2500 BC.
Also, I told you about the pyramids in Bosnia, right? Was it Bosnia?
Yeah, the huge ass pyramids.
Yeah. Where does that go?
Where'd that come from?
Who the fuck built those? Those are massive.
You a fan of?
Those are bigger than Giza.
Are you a fan of the pyramids in Antarctica?
Oh yeah, baby.
The huge square pyramids in Antarctica?
I think that's a real thing. Listen, I don't think the pyramids were just nothing. I think they were generators, dude.
You think the pyramids were generators?
Yeah, I'm like 60%
Oh god.
sure they were like some sort
full
of
schizo
generator.
mode.
See,
Dude, why
Alright,
were they
so-
built out of fucking conductive material?
That's true.
Completely almost.
Why were they tipped with electrum?
Why were they so dope? Why do the pyramids of Giza have makeshift copper wiring inside of them? Why do archaeologists have a boonk ass explanation of the use of the pyramids?
It's true.
It
alright,
doesn't line up.
I was doing some research. I was just looking at this shit on Google Images, but Neanderthals, Homo sapiens,
Yeah.
people have the consensus that they have evolved between 500,000 and 100,000 years old. If something comes up that the pyramids were built
Well,
in that time,
so
That
here's
changes
here's
everything.
here's
Here's the
here's
thing.
here's the thing, right? Is that look, I'm gonna say my thing first. Here's the thing, right?
So many things.
Is that I don't really buy the idea that humans have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and only within the last 5,000 years we got our shit together enough to start civilization.
Yeah, exactly. With the common curriculum in school of Mesopotamia being the first civilization, the explanation for that, there is none. It just came out of nowhere.
Right, it's just
Some
like,
hunter-gatherer discovered a seed and decided to
Right.
plant it and irrigate it.
yeah, it's the assumption that just because that area was fertile, that had to be the first.
We
Yeah,
discovered-
it's the same thing as evolution. It's just probability that
right,
it came
but
to be
that's
by
the,
accident.
that's the thing, is that humanity had been around for hundreds of thousands of years, right? And we have to suppose that humans back then were just as smart as humans now. Right?
I don't know about that.
Well, no.
Not,
Well, because think about it
Yeah,
like this, right?
IQ-wise.
They had less knowledge. Like, they didn't know as many things.
Oh, yeah, if you mean IQ, yeah.
But-
if you mean ability,
Right,
then yeah, I
right.
guess.
But they were just as smart then as we are now. So
Because I mean, calculus is old as
I think
fuck.
I think
like,
about that sometimes. I think about sometimes what if the highest IQ person ever was the guy who invented fire, and like ever. It's the highest IQ guy ever.
If I were, you mean the guy who discarded fire, the guy who like
The guy who
this doesn't consistently create fire.
yeah, like the guy who
Like-
who invented the ability to consistently make fire.
sometimes this is like very difficult to think about. But sometimes you have to think, what do you think, what like day-to-day things, what do you do that is intuitive and what do you do that is learned?
Right. Well,
Like I don't know at this point.
you know what's
'cause
you know
it's
what's
hard to
weird?
trace
You know
back
what's weird to
everything.
think about is like the first people to do certain things must have been so fucking smart.
Yeah, or it's just an intuitive human
Like
thing.
no, like
Yeah,
think about
yo.
like making bronze. Like the first person to take this rock and that rock and combine them in a certain
No, no, no.
mixture.
To me, farming goes above and beyond all of that.
Yeah.
Domesticating animals, fucking milking them, harvesting them for.
Who was the first guy to
material-
milk
That's
like a
insane.
proto cow?
Yeah,
right?
No, that's the thing. So
I
this
was
is
like
where
a meme, but that's insane.
this is where my weird belief of God comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that so every human is a piece of God in some way. I don't really understand
Uh-huh.
how that works completely,
Uh-huh.
but we all come from the same place pretty much,
Uh-huh.
right? And if we all come from the same place, we have intuitive knowledge of the natural world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Possibly.
I mean, people do have intuitive knowledge. You have intuitive knowledge of the way certain things work, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, the thought that someone has to be super smart to understand how bronze or something works, maybe it's just an idea that just came into someone's head.
Right? But I mean, yeah, it's fun to think about these like really early inventions where it's like the first person to like use a horse, you know?
Like the people
The
that invented
inventions
the
I
simple
find-
machines.
Yeah.
The inventions I find like crazy are like the modern ones, like 1940s plus.
You know what's
So like the shit that people come up with is just
Hey,
like how
you
do
know
you
what?
come up with
You
that?
know what?
But you don't find like a police system.
Well, see,
insane,
you know
like
what's
a person who invented a.
Well,
Police
you know what's
system.
weird, Nirav, is that I think pulleys and like levers are one of those things that's intuitive. I think everybody
Exactly.
like I don't think I had to be taught how pulleys and levers work.
Yeah, like everyone, unless you're a bug, maybe everyone like has an intuitive
'Cause I'm
knowledge
a
of how physics
bug.
work. Like maybe you might not be able to put together the numbers because that's a little bit hard and rough on the mind.
Right.
But if you see a physics question, right, and you have multiple choice of the outcome, and like
have a general
and, like,
idea.
a physical outcome, you have a general idea of how things are gonna go.
Right.
If you know
I
the
think-
variables at play.
I think everybody exactly. I think you're born with that
I
sort of
feel-
knowledge.
I feel people will understand how a police, like when they look at a police system, they understand how it works. But I think it requires a special person.
What
special kind of
to
person.
make one?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe with a pulley, but with something like levers, anybody everybody I think everybody intuitively knows that if you use like a long stick, it gives you more force.
Well, so think about
Like, basic
ancient
tools.
Aztec people. So we're of the common belief that ancient Aztecs used ayahuasca, right?
Yeah.
And this is like some Joe Rogan ass shit. But like, what kind of fucking ancient dude just picked up two plants and threw them in a pot and made fucking drip juice?
I mean, maybe with that it could be just like they were brewing. They like took some leaves and thought, hey, what if I brewed these in a tea? Because that's all ayahuasca is. It's just tea, but with a
And the thing
certain
is,
type
if
of
you get,
leaf.
if let's say one person gets that fucked up, current people would never fuck with that shit again.
Yeah.
Like you would consider that toxic.
You'd be like, that's
but that
poison.
became a part of their culture.
Yeah, it became a
And
part of their lives.
Knowing the things that they built, they had to be advanced. They had the same geographical sense as the Egyptians.
Right.
And in the sense that their pyramids were aligned to not even magnetic, geographical north,
Right.
right? So they were pretty advanced. So, you know, if you would think that they would just sip some shit, someone would trip out, go schizo. No one else would do that. Like if that happened to us,
Right.
let's say Caleb went and ate a mushroom and he was like tripping. Caleb suddenly started believing in God. We wouldn't touch that. We wouldn't eat that shit at all.
Right.
Like we would stray away from that. But somehow it became a part of their culture.
Yeah, just there's weird things like that. There's tons of weird stuff like that. That's just like, how did that come about? How did that happen? Like, because now, obviously, it exists now. Where we are today, it exists. But at some point, it had to have started.
Exactly.
And-
And that's when you think about stuff like this, that's when the lame excuses that modern historians and modern science give.
Just
It
suck.
just kind of
They
it
suck.
just kind of happened. Yeah, this
just-
just they figured this out.
How
Yeah,
did
they
how
just-
did somebody invent farming?
Like, yeah, they were smart, but they were pretty stupid too. Like they didn't have computers.
Oh yeah. And then around this time period, we start seeing bronze working appear. What do you mean you just start seeing?
When you think about it, they make people seem like fucking autistic savants. Every time
Yeah.
period just has some random autistic savant who randomly comes across something that takes years of research and dedicated, like,
I mean,
I don't even know.
yeah. How? It's insane to think about. It's insane. And you know what? With that, I think I'm gonna call it. Cause the Sweep and Chat episode is at 2 hours.
2 hours? I mean, we could talk about this all day.
Yeah, I know we could keep
Yeah.
talking,
Talk
but it's
about it
also
all year.
it's also 4:30.
Lord.
And I should get to bed, even if I don't attend class. I need to get to bed. I'll attend Latin tomorrow at least. But I don't think I'll attend Roman history because why would I?
We know all you need. We know all you need.
I don't have a test tomorrow. I have a test
That
Friday.
being said, God exists. If you're an atheist, you're a dumbass.
That's true. For all of the trillions of Sweep and Chat listeners, this is a exclusively religious.
The trillions, the alien bugs
Not even.
watching.
Well, let's take out the word religion. Fuck religion. God is all you need, really. You can believe in God without being religious,
look,
right?
Dan,
was truth
Dan,
about
all
what
I'm
even
saying,
is being religious?
all I'm saying, Dan, is that it's now. I'm gonna get this Bible to you, and you're gonna read it, and you're gonna go, oh.
It's gonna make so much sense.
That's what's gonna happen.
Stay on 4chan though.
I haven't been on 4chan.
No, I don't
in
really
so
go
long.
on 4chan
'Cause,
anymore.
No, 4chan is only like it's like junk food.
Yeah,
No, yeah, you can
Like I already
You
know
can get-
everything that they're gonna say.
it's
get
horrible.
everything you know about 4chan in like 2.
Yeah,
Look, the schizo posts are just innately wired in my brain.
yeah.
You're like, I don't even fuck off with that shit.
All right,
You're a generator.
I'm gonna end it. The Sweep and Chat. It's over.
No.
We're done.